At noon, we've gathered additional information out of court regarding a Brown medicine doctor being deported despite having an H-1B visa. Documents in Boston federal court that reporters there were able to view reportedly show that questions circulated around multiple photos discovered on her phone. Joe Cortez live right now in studio with these new details.
Well, Patrick, according to those court documents that reporters took notes from at the courthouse this morning, Dr. Alawieh had multiple pictures of the supreme leader of Iran and of a leader of the terrorist group Hezbollah. Now, Dr. Alawieh is a kidney transplant specialist who's lived in Rhode Island and worked at Brown University as an assistant professor of medicine. She was detained last Thursday after returning from visiting family and was ultimately deported back to Lebanon on Sunday. According to reporters in Boston, the documents also cited Dr. Alawieh deleted those pictures 1 to 2 days before landing at Logan Airport March 13th because she did not want to give authorities the perception that she supports Hezbollah politically or militarily. Now on Friday, a U.S. District Court judge ordered the government not to remove her outside of Massachusetts without a 48-hour notice. The documents reportedly cited Customs and Border Protection agents. They said a person arrived at the airport, which is when her lawyer showed up, claiming the court order by the U.S. District Judge required her to stay, but it was too late and she had already departed. The hearing scheduled for this morning was postponed to March 24th. And stay with 12 News. We are continuing to gather additional information by the hour. Live in studio, Joe Cortez, 12 News.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video that I'm dropping tonight, once again, is to basically show the blatant hypocrisy coming from the Democrats. Okay. The video clip you just seen, in case anybody hasn't heard, there is a doctor in Rhode Island, okay, that basically had went out to the Middle East, and we'll find out a little more information with the next video clip. And she basically attended a Hezbollah terrorist funeral for one of their head guys that was killed last September, I believe they said. And not only did she do that, she basically, from what it sounds like, tried to delete pictures or what have you on her phone, knowing very well that that she is either on a work visa or whatever the case is. But now they deported her to Jordan, I believe they said, and obviously the Democrats, the liberals, the left, you know, the ones that really don't care about America, they're fighting for her to be let back into the country. And it kills me, okay, because there's something else I'm going to show you on the video where the left is always accusing Donald Trump, our president, of having nefarious dealings with neo-Nazi groups or whatever the case is, right? They can call him out on all that with no proof, even after him condemning it, no matter what. But yet this woman had proof, and it makes you wonder, whose side are these people really on? Do they really love America, or do they want to see America fall? Because I find it straight out disgusting the way they can want someone in the country, regardless of her status, that she's a doctor. Who cares about any of that? Okay? The woman knows the tension between the United States and Iran and Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, all these terrorist groups, and she's going to go and attend the funeral and make it seem as if it's okay, but yet her being, how can I say, basically encouraged by people in our country, Americans, that it's okay to do that, at the same time accusing Donald Trump and his supporters of being something that we're just not. Okay? And it gets to the point that it's like, you know what? If you people care so much about these terrorist groups and you want to sympathize for them, that's fine. That is your human right. Okay? If that's how you feel. But why don't you all just pack up and go hang out with those groups, and let's see how accepting they are to you. Okay? But don't want to make this introduction too long. Let's play some music and we'll get to the video clips. Here we go.
Lebanese doctor working legally at Brown University who was reportedly detained at Logan Airport for more than a day before she was turned away. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colton Bradford. Priscilla has the night off. Now, the U.S. government says they had good reason to turn that doctor away. NBC 10's Oscar Margain joins us live from Boston to explain. Oscar, good evening to you. There was supposed to be a court hearing on this case earlier today. Catch us up to speed. What happened here?
Yeah, well, a federal judge called for a hearing to try to get the Trump administration to explain why they detained this doctor in the first place, but then that hearing got postponed. Hours later, the Trump administration took to social media to accuse the doctor of supporting a terrorist group.
We're going to try to make sure that the government continues to follow the rule of law.
Stephanie Marzouk is representing Dr. Rasha Alawieh, a Lebanese woman who was detained by Customs and Border Protection Thursday at Logan Airport.
We are not going to stop fighting. We're going to try to get her back in the U.S. to see her patients where she should be.
Dr. Alawieh was reportedly held for 36 hours before CBP put her on a plane back to Lebanon, where she traveled to last month. The return went against...
I'm sorry, folks. Let me clear this up real quick. I said Jordan. Was it Jordan? It was Lebanon. Let's go back just a little bit. Here we go.
The return went against a federal judge's order, which the government says it did not receive on time and did not willfully ignore, as Alawieh's family alleges. Alawieh, who worked for Brown Medicine in Rhode Island as a kidney transplant specialist, had a valid H-1B visa for special occupations.
She was the best candidate.
Dr. Douglas Shipman hired Alawieh in 2024 after a national search for a nephrologist.
She spent 70, 80 hours a week taking care of men, women, and children with kidney disease.
Dr. Shipman and others were in court to support the 34-year-old while hoping to hear from the government before the hearing was postponed. Hours later, the Department of Homeland Security went on X to accuse Alawieh of attending a Hezbollah funeral, saying that she openly admitted to this to CBP officers and that glorifying and supporting terrorists who kill Americans is grounds for visa issuance to be denied. The Hezbollah leader being Hassan Nasrallah, who was killed in an Israeli attack in September. Michael Rudy believes Alawieh has done nothing wrong.
It's a very chilling time in this country that we have an administration that can act so ropey.
Now, the judge gave the government until next Monday to present its facts to the court, while Brown University is advising their student, staff, and faculty to avoid personal travel for the time being, outside of the country, rather. Now, I'm going to take you to some live images happening right now. This is out in Providence, Rhode Island. There's a rally in support of that doctor happening right now. You see a crowd forming on the steps of the State House. Again, this is in Providence. We're going to have continuing coverage throughout the evening here so that we can give you the latest on this case. Reporting.
Yeah, to give us the latest on the case. You know, it's funny now. Here, there's going to be another protest about this, people. You already know it. And I like the way he keeps saying that she's being accused. She's being accused. Okay? It's funny that when Biden was president, the Department of Justice put out so many lies that they're all coming to light, accusing people falsely. And now, and that was okay. The Democrats were okay with that. They never once came out and said, you know, that wasn't right. No. But now the Department of Justice now is uncovering all this stuff little by little, and right away it's a problem. Why? You know, I was watching a video earlier today, and I had to leave some comments because there were some people that, and it had nothing to do with this. It was just something else, of course, with the Democrats. That they always contradict themselves. And the comment that I left on the channel, and it wasn't on here actually. It was actually on Facebook. And I mean, listen, reading all the negative comments, my only comment that I could leave was that basically karma's a bitch and she's always hungry. Okay? Because it's funny the way the Democrats, okay, and these bleeding heart liberals have accused Trump and his supporters of so much that right now as we speak, there are people that are terrorizing Tesla stores and I mean just going around and destroying people's Tesla cars. Excuse me. And nothing from the mainstream media. All they could keep saying is that Elon Musk is losing money in the stock market. trying to divert away from these people once again from the left, like they did in 2020, just going out there destroying and burning, harassing people. I mean, getting in people's faces, and everything to them is normal. Here's the thing, okay, and I'll show the proof. They have been on Trump for years, accusing him of being something he's not. Now they're trying to divert that and make it seem as if Elon Musk is a Nazi. No proof of it. On behalf of no proof that Trump is one, no proof that Elon is one, but they just let all these protests go on. And then finally, if all this turns out to be true, and I'm sure it is, I really don't think that Trump and the Department of Justice is just automatically just going to single out one person, especially a doctor, okay, to make a point. So when all the proof comes out, and if it turns out to be true, because all they have to do is grab her phone and see if it's true, if she had all those pictures or what have you, it's going to show proof, but it's nothing that the Democrats are going to stick by. All they can do is keep accusing Trump of something he's not, something that he has condemned. And in all honesty, if this woman doesn't come out and condemn it, okay, we have a problem in this country. But it's no secret. It's definitely no secret. But just to refresh everybody's memory, I'm going to play another video clip that came out about 6 or 7 months ago, just so you guys could understand how these Democrats like to run things. Here we go. Okay, folks, actually, this video was put out 4 months ago. This was put out by MSNBC. But before I continue, just want to thank all my new subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble, and all my subscribers. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. But without further ado, let's play this video clip.
Donald Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden comes days after his own former chief of staff went on record to describe his former boss as a fascist. But that jamboree happening right now, you see it there on your screen, in that place is particularly chilling because in 1939, more than 20,000 supporters of a different fascist leader, Adolf Hitler, packed the garden for a so-called pro-America rally.
There you go. He already started. You heard what he said? With a different fascist leader. He is blatantly calling Donald Trump a fascist. Okay? Blatantly calling him a damn fascist. Meanwhile, this man has helped more black college students, okay, with money to help them excel their education. What type of a fascist does that? Unbelievable.
A rally where speakers voiced anti-Semitic rhetoric from a stage draped with Nazi banners. When a Jewish protester rushed the stage, the Associated Press reported, quote, instantly, a dozen or more stormtroopers set upon him, knocking him down and beating him as he held his head in his arms. Most of his clothing was torn from his body. Later, he was booked for disorderly conduct. Now, against that backdrop of history, Donald Trump, the man who has threatened to use the military against opponents he calls enemies from within, who has threatened to use the troops to quell what he says are lawless cities, and to use those troops to carry out mass deportations of immigrants, is once again turning Madison Square Garden into a staging ground for extremism.
You believe that, folks? Saying that he's using Madison Square Garden for that same extremism. You know, I'll never understand the mindset. This is why the Democrats lost. This is one of the many reasons why the Democrats lost. And they're still pushing that same rhetoric to this day. The same thing they did 8 years ago, they're doing it all over again. But meanwhile, we have people in our country, okay, people out there protesting. They won't condemn Hamas, okay? They won't condemn any of the terrorist groups. As a matter of fact, there's people out there protesting still for Palestine. Now you got people out there in Rhode Island protesting for this lady, this doctor. Meanwhile, in Syria, okay, There is a massacre going on for the past, what, week, 2 weeks, where Christians, Alawites, Druids, so many different groups are being slaughtered by a new terrorist faction. And nobody's talking about it. Not the mainstream media, not the left, barely the right. Nobody's talking about it. Where's their protest? Since you care so much. Or is it you're only going to protest for people that are extremists? You're only going to protest for the Islamist terrorist groups? For the hardcore Muslims? Is that what you're going to protest for? Because you talk so much that you love everybody, you want to end wars, you don't want to see any kind of genocide, anything like that, but yet you're out there protesting and not a peep from anybody about what's going on in Syria. Why? And then you have the nerve to go and call Donald Trump and his supporters, or anybody for that matter, that basically opens up their eyes and say, you know what, I'm tired of the left because of what they're doing. Right away you'll turn around, you'll vilify them too. You'll call them fascists and Nazis or whatever the case is. And then you drape yourself, the few of you that drape yourself with the American flag, saying that you're on the right side of history, you're an American. That is not how an American acts. Because it seems like your allegiance is on the other side of the planet. Okay, because it's definitely not here in America. But you got all these rogue judges trying to stop Trump from what he's doing. As a matter of fact, the gang members that Trump sent to El Salvador, okay, I looked into it. One of my subscribers sent me some information a few days ago about it. There's a judge getting on his case for that. Another left-wing judge. And now you have this judge getting on his case for this woman, this female doctor. On top of that, that kid in Columbia University, that guy that they're holding in detention, that they're talking about deporting him, you got a judge on Trump's case for that also. It's like, what in the world is wrong with you people on the left that you want to keep all these criminals and terrorist sympathizers in the country? I'll not understand the damn mindset that you people on the left have and make it seem as if the way you keep saying you're on the right side of history. You care about these illegal immigrants that are from gangs and they're drug dealers or whatever the case is, then why don't you go help them? Go have your kumbaya moment with them in their country. How about that? You care so much about these people that want to support terrorist groups? Why don't you go to their country and sympathize with them over there? Because you obviously don't care on the damage these people are doing, not only here in America, but abroad. You make it seem as if that's okay, while you're still accusing somebody of something with no proof to your claims. But anyway, let's get to the next video clip. Here we go.
But based on the events that took place over the weekend in Charlottesville, Virginia, I would like to provide the nation with an update on the ongoing federal response to the horrific attack and violence that was witnessed by everyone. I just met with FBI Director Christopher Wray and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The Department of Justice has opened a civil rights investigation into the deadly car attack that killed one innocent American and wounded 20 others. To anyone who acted criminally in this weekend's racist violence, you will be held fully accountable. Justice will be delivered. As I said on Saturday, we condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. It has no place in America. And as I have said many times before, no matter the color of our skin, we all live under the same laws. We all salute the same great flag. And we are all made by the same Almighty God. We must love each other, show affection for each other, and unite together in condemnation of hatred, bigotry, and violence. We must rediscover the bonds of love and loyalty that bring us together as Americans. Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. We are a nation founded on the truth that all of us are created equal. We are equal in the eyes of our Creator. We are equal under the law, and we are equal under our Constitution.
And there you go.
Our Constitution.
It's incredible. He pushed this out years ago, and he's always condemned it over the years. Here we are, years later, and the left is still, okay, trying to paint this a different color. As a matter of fact, if anybody remembers when Joe Biden went in front of the White House, that whole dark speech that he gave with the backdrop was red. I mean, it looked like something out of a damn horror flick. Okay? Just real sinister. And he just basically badmouthed Trump. That he's a fascist, that he's a Nazi, that he's a racist, that he's this, that he's that. Basically just dividing the country. Whereas Trump, in this speech alone, even though it was only, 2 minutes, said more about unity and how he condemns hate than Joe Biden did in 4 years. And that's still not, it's not good enough. No matter what this man says, no matter what actions he takes, no matter what he does, they just keep pushing that same damn leftist, racist rhetoric, their agenda, just to keep separating people and dividing people. And now that he's back in office and he wants to get rid of the people that don't contribute to America and the American way, it's not good enough. Does anybody know what's going on in the UK right now? They are literally under attack by Islamists. And not only in the UK, we're talking Britain, we're talking Ireland, we're talking Scotland, I mean Australia, Germany, it's all over. As a matter of fact, I was watching a video last night of how the immigration in Spain is hitting, and in the Canary Islands, the way they're flooding all these Western countries. And listen, I have nothing against people from the Middle East. I have nothing against Muslims. But when you have an extremist factor, and when their own kind doesn't speak out against it to say that is not how we are, it's very hard to take the left serious. It truly is. They can say all they want, okay, that the left is all about love and inclusivity, whatever the case is, but your actions have yet to show that. You just keep pushing out more and more racist rhetoric, basically. And now the Department of Justice finds somebody. Now listen, is there room for somebody to do something wrong and make up this story against this woman? Of course. But with the mixed administration that Trump has, I highly doubt that they're going to wind up, that they're going to go out just to do something like this and vilify somebody because of the way Trump and his supporters have been vilified for the past, 8 years? Not even including the 8 years that Obama was vilifying everybody on the right? With his racist rhetoric towards everyone? Listen, if this woman is guilty, regardless if she got her citizenship, whatever the case is, she is not a natural born American. And in my opinion, a lot of people want to argue, well, when it comes to the visa status and it comes to the status of citizenship and permanent citizen, whatever the hell the case is. This is the way I see it. You don't pledge if you don't pledge your allegiance to America, then you don't belong here. It's bad enough we have to deal with the ones that are born and raised here, and we know they're American, and we got to eat that. Now we're just going to start importing them? For one, I don't think so. And whatever Donald Trump is doing, whatever President Trump is doing and his Department of Justice is doing to weed out all these bad actors, then you know what? These leftist judges need to just shut the hell up and step out of the damn way. Because you didn't do nothing under a Democrat rule, and now you want to go and mess up a Republican rule. I don't think so. It's got to stop. Plain and simple. It's got to stop. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. And just quickly, I'm going to try to drop 3 videos when I drop this one. I'll be dropping these off, setting them up. Today is Tuesday, setting them up for Wednesday. So I'm going to try to do 3 at a time. And from the last video that I spoke about the algorithm, I'm going to see if that'll help boost up the algorithm and try to get a little more information out. So if you guys can watch those videos also, it'd be gladly appreciated. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the women and the children, pray for this country, pray for your enemies, pray for Donald Trump, and don't forget to pray for all the missing children that they brought across the border. Peace.